Good evening, teacher and classmates. My name is Claudia Rivera Lopez and my partner is Marcia Lopez Ballesteros. The name of our activity is organizing the Pecos story, and we hope that you enjoy our presentation.
In the introductions to the activity we have, this activity is perfect to children of 10 years old because the vocabulary is more complex. It has 7 scenes. Children have to know perfectly colors. It improves their habits related to literature, and they will practice listening and speaking throughout the story. We are going to show you with puppets to represent the Pecosville story. So it is divided in 7 scenes, and one of them will be identified with a specific color. After the show, you have to remember the scenes and colors and use it in a worksheet.
Well, in this part we can see the Pecosville, the activity and the sequence of it. The instructions, the number 1 is the teacher will make the act show with puppets. The second is that the students have to watch the Pecosville story. And the third is that students have to organize the Pecosville scenes relating the colors that were shown in it as purple, red, pink, green, blue, black, and orange.
Here we have the video. Please watch it and
Pecos thought the Mustang never stopped barking, so he spoke to him. I want to be a cowboy, and I would like to ride the ranching lasso with longhorn cattle and drive them to market. He told the Mustang he needed a good horse to help him. If I didn't have a horse that was good enough, I'll stop trying to be a cowboy and I'll be a coyote again. If you don't want to help me, you go your way and I'll go mine. Bill turned away and to drink from the river, and the famous passing Mustang of the Brady's came to his side. He put his big nose in the water and he drank with Bill. And that is how Pecosville got his first horse and became the first cowboy. A long time ago, in a small town, there lived a boy named Bill. One day, Bill's family saw smoke from a new neighbor's chimney, so they decided to move further west. On the way, they left giant William Prairie Dog Joe. The wagon lurched and Bill fell out, and he landed jet first on a boat. The boat broke into a dozen pieces and Bill's head was bruised. The wagon jagged and rumbled away into the distance, towards setting sun. When Bill came to, he didn't know where he was or who he was. He didn't know what to do or how to do it. He didn't remember a single thing about his life or his 17 brothers and sisters. But an old coyote rescued him. One day, Pecosville met a man. Who are you? I am a coyote pup. Brrr. You don't like a coyote to me. You look like a human. I'm not a human. Brrr. I am a coyote, and that's all there is to it. If you are a coyote, where's your tail? Bill looked over his shoulder. He couldn't see a tail. He must have a tail. All the coyotes Bill knew had long, bushy tails. He backed up to a stream and looked at his reflection in the water. It was true. He didn't have a tail. If he didn't have a tail, he couldn't be a coyote. If he wasn't a coyote, he must be a human. And that is how Pecos Bill discovered he was a human and not a coyote. One day, a red snake bit him. It was a soul-man red snake and Charles beat to a fight. Bill won that fight too, and he used the red snake for raiding wheat. The very likely job. It was something that every red snake got the chance to do. Now, Bill not only had the mountain lion, he also had the red snake. Also, Bill wanted a horse. To be exact, he wanted the famous Mustang of the prairies. No one had ever been able to catch the Mustang and ride him.
Scene number 2. Oh, coyote, who are you? Pecos Bill, I don't know. Oh, coyote, I'm going to call you Pecos Bill. Pecos Bill, it is a nice name. What is your name? Oh, coyote, I'm Oh, coyote. And that was Pecos Bill how grow up with the coyote. He learned to walk like a coyote, to learn to talk like a coyote. He thought he was a coyote, talked like a coyote. His playmates were coyote pups. He rested with them and they yipped and yapped and growled playfully at him and knifed each other. He learned to scratch his ears with his foot, and he could run fast enough to catch a rabbit. Scene number 4. So Bill said, "So if I'm not a coyote, I'm going to be a cowboy." The man asked, "What is a cowboy?" Pecos Bill, "That's easy. He's a man who rounds up cattle." The man, "You don't need a horse. We only have 10 cows, and you don't need a horse for 10 cows." Pecos Bill, "There are wild longhorn cattle around these parts." Pecos Bill, "There are wild horses and other wild critters." "No, sir. I will need a horse because I'm in a round up and catch those wild horns." But Pecos Bill was too big for our ordinary horse, so Bill captured the mountain lion and brought him to a ride. And then Bill was walking all over the place with the mountain lion, his new friend. Part 6. One day, he rode far out on the prairie until he found the herd.
of wild horses led by the great passing Mustang. So Bill made up his mind to capture him that every day. Bill mounted his mountain lion. He lifted his skirt and his rattlesnake rattled. The famous passing Mustang of the prairie saw them coming and began to run away. But it was too late. Bill's galloping mountain lion rushed toward the Mustang. No one had ever been astride the Mustang before. The Mustang jumped, bucked twice, and turned, but Pecos Bill kept his seat. Pecos Bill, yip, yip, yip. Bill yelled. The Mustang ran and kicked. Bill stayed on. The Mustang reared and pawed the air. The horse covered the land from the Potter River in Nebraska to the Pecos River in Texas, from the Mississippi River for the Pacific Ocean.
Okay. That was our activity, but you can use it in different ways. For example, you can divide your group into two groups. One of them can act the story and the other group could enjoy. And thanks.